I'm Zach and I'm based in
Just
Seoul,
this is
South Korea.
Jashar. I'll introduce you. This is
Oh,
Jashar
okay.
from South Korea. He is the founder of Subtle Delivery and Crave Food. He is engaged in cloud kitchens and delivery. Over to Shakar. Over to you. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Mr. Razan. And yeah, I'm based in Seoul, South Korea. So I'm not exactly in Southeast Asia. I'm in East Asia. I've been doing food delivery in the food delivery industry since 2014. And in 2017, I started in the food production industry with our company we founded called Crave Food. When we founded Shuttle, our whole mission was to serve foreign customers who didn't speak Korean and then also serve Koreans who want to eat authentic foreign food. So in Korea, it's hyper competitive for delivery, and delivery heroes here. Beidou Minchok is the biggest player here. The competition is vast. So what we wanted to do is go for a niche segment and as our anchor segment, and then branch out and slowly get Korean. So initially, when we launched in 2014, our customer base was about 5% Korean, and now it's up to 20% Korean. And the Koreans that we are typically shooting for in are millennials and people who want to eat foreign food, which is quite big here. So as you can probably guess, food online food delivery is booming right now. So in terms of how it affected us with COVID, yeah, it affected us greatly. And it's just we've been having to struggle to kind of keep up with drivers and keep up with orders and everything like that, as well as expanding to new territories. So for us, it's a blessing that weren't greatly affected by that. However, as I mentioned, we also have a uh, food production company. That food production company, Crave, is a catering company, a cafeteria production company, we produce ghost kitchen brands, and we also produce HMR products for online sales through websites like Coupang Eats, which is huge here, or sorry, Coupang Fresh, which is huge here, and then a company called Market Curly. If you guys are familiar with Amazon Fresh, it's kind of like that. You make home meal replacement, uh, and we list them on there and we sell them. And they will pick up, a couple hundred salads or a couple hundred vegan bowls. We have make taco kits, and you can probably guess the segments that have actually benefited, which is the HMR lines have benefited. It's never been better. The Ghost Kitchen brands have benefited. They've never been better. And then the catering, there's almost no catering events, so that end of the business has tanked. And then the cafeteria business, because of all the restrictions in Korea, and we run cafeterias for high schools and middle schools here, as well as the U.S. Embassy. So there's 500 or 600 people every day going through each of these um, cafeterias, but due to the restrictions, it's down. It's way down because it's like 25% at best of what it was because you can't sit together. So both businesses have been affected for me. Some good things, some negative things. Overall, our food production brand is staying afloat due to diversity of our verticals that we're in. Um, yeah, and just what we're trying to do with Shuttle, as I mentioned, we're going after Korean millennials and then foreigners. And the types of food we generally add is authentic foreign food. So if you're in a neighborhood, we want the best restaurants and we want the most authentic food. So, for instance, the neighborhood I live in, we have. If you want pizza, we go after multiple different pizza options. Such as Sicilian pizza. We'll have a Sicilian pizza restaurant, a Roman pizza restaurant, a New York style pizza restaurant, Detroit style pizza, etc. So what we do is we curate our roster much differently than a Yogi-O, which is owned by Delivery Hero, or a Beto Show, where they have 300 or 400,000 restaurants listed on their platform. They just sign everybody. We tend to focus on a limited number of restaurants in hyper-local neighborhoods and on foreign food. So this does two things. One, it benefits the customers because every time they're trying something on Shuttle, they know they're going to get good restaurants, right? And also it benefits the restaurants because the restaurants that we choose are getting the benefit of not having to share revenues with 300 or 400, 500 restaurants in their immediate neighborhood. So this is kind of a differentiator that we try pushing to the vendors that we're signing, and that tends to be restaurants. And also we work with, as I mentioned earlier, we work closely with Cloud Kitchens or City Storage Systems here, which is Travis Kalanick's company. They've been in Korea for about 2 years. They do those kitchens. I want to say they have 15 different kitchens in Korea so far, and they're looking to expand a lot in the next year, from what I've heard. And also, our app is built slightly different than all the delivery apps where you come, you type in pizza or you type in a restaurant, right? If any of you guys are familiar with like Apple Music or Spotify, when you go on Apple Music or Spotify, it's going to ask you for what's your favorite types of music. Oh, I like rock, I like hip hop, I like R&B, I like this specific artist, Michael Jackson. So what we do is we try to curate not only our restaurant selection, but we also try to curate the experience for each individual user. So in this example here, you can see you log in, you choose the foods you like, or, maybe you're a vegan, right? If you're a vegan or you have dietary restrictions, you don't actually want to see, pepperoni pizzas, or you don't want to see hamburgers, or maybe you are Muslim and you only would like to see halal. This is the kind of direction that we're going in, more of a curated, personalized approach that will actually recommend you things you might like, rather than just some kind of like where you see everything. So this is the direction that we're starting to go in. And it's a big initiative for us in the next year. So currently we're in 3 main areas of Seoul, about to launch our 4th area. These are the types of customers that we have anchor markets where we go for foreigners, and then we also then start slowly seeping into the Korean market due to our type of restaurants we curate and our different type of app that's not just like mass listings, listing every restaurant. As I said before, there's a lot of food delivery companies in Korea, and it's very competitive. Coupang Eats is owned by Coupang, which is a $1 billion company. Yogi-O is owned by Delivery Hero, and then Beto is the biggest player. They are also in Vietnam. And then We Make Price is just recently entering. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Kakao, but they're also in the game. So one thing that we try doing with our customers is we try, adding value to them rather than just being a food delivery company. So we started as a food delivery company, but what we started to add is, because there's language issues here with foreigners specifically, but also Koreans, it's a convenience thing. So within the last 7 months, we added in-store pickups, and we're working on group orders and drop-off catering, working with restaurants doing that right now. So we're just building different modules inside our app to offer our customers different experiences, but also different services. And yeah, and then that's pretty much it about Shuttle. But in terms of how Shuttle tied in with Crave, so yeah, in 2017 we launched Crave. The reason we launched Crave is because we were really excited about the ghost kitchen concepts and everything that went along with it. And what we noticed is that, as the previous speaker said, there's some areas where we expand, and our type of restaurants that we really want and that we really want to push to our customers aren't in those areas. So what we decided to do was started to create our own brands with our catering company. By doing that, you kind of control your own destiny as to where you're going to go, the types of brands you're going to curate. Plus, we have all the data to know what our customers desire and the types of food that will be successful in certain types of neighborhoods. So when we launched Crave Food, that was the entire reason that we got into that business. And what we noticed is it's not, unless you have like very high volumes, it's not a business like ghost kitchens. It's not like it can just, as a restaurant, survive on its own unless you have extremely high volumes. So what we started to do is we started to add other verticals to that, which was catering, which was home meal replacement, which was eventually led us into doing cafeteria work. So now we have four different kitchens. One is at the U.S. Embassy, one is at a school called Soul Foreign School, and two are kitchens that we own. That one is specifically for home meal replacement, which is where we sell online, and the other one is for ghost kitchens, which is where we test our brands, we build our brands out, and we also do deliveries from that kitchen with those brands. So for me, I guess I'm coming from a slightly different perspective because my first perspective is as a food delivery company and how I look at the brands. The big thing that I would kind of leave this with would be as a person who's trying to do cloud kitchens, if you're a restaurateur or something like that, definitely understand your packaging, understand everything that is coming to the customer from the time they receive the package, right? Because I've seen brands that take, the minimal route and they're not successful. Also understand how to market your ghost kitchen online, because the brands that we see do really well are the ones that are marketed really well and are shared and, have engagement with let's say the parent company is an actual restaurant. You got to treat your cloud kitchens customers the same as you would treat your in-house customers, because there are situations where maybe, instead of cloud kitchen, you're only getting this much sauce when you give nachos, but in store you're getting this much. So perception is everything to the customer, because what they want to feel is they want to feel like they're getting the same treatment as in store, maybe in the comfort of their own home or at work, but also they want the same value, right? And the other thing that I would say is know how every delivery platform that you're on works, right? So how am I able to appear on top? Do I have to pay more for marketing? Do I have to do a delivery fee discount? Do I have to prepare the food at a median time to where it's within the first 15 minutes and I get like the cheetah tag, or understand, or is it I need to maintain 5 stars? I want to have a good value proposition for the customer, and also never skimp on taking photos, right? The restaurants that don't have good photos perform terribly on our website, right, or app. because people tend to eat with their eyes first unless they've actually been to your restaurant and have tried your food. In-house, they don't really know what to expect, which is why we require all of our restaurants, including those kitchens, to have a minimum of 10 high-quality photos, which we go shoot, right? Because at least the first 10 photos typically are the ones, the first 10, like 2 scrolls basically on the app, is where people are going to order from. If we've done studies based on our user behavior, even your listings are more than 3 scrolls down, your chances of getting orders, unless you're a highly desired restaurant, go way down. So just understand how the delivery, how the platforms you're on work, how you can be ranked higher, and just how to maintain quality. Just understand the game you're playing. Really, that would be my kind of last piece of advice.
Thank you, Jack. It
Yeah,
was good to know about your disruptive model and the delivery challenges you're given. It's a good market insight on South Korea too.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. So we go for the next. I'm giving a break, so we go for the next one. Thank you, Jack. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jack, for coming. Okay.
yeah, you're welcome.
Hello, everybody.
One second. This is Denis Cavatassi from Thailand. He is running a pizza pocket. He is the co-founder, Cloud Kitchen. Uh, he will give a good insight on the Bangkok pizza delivery experience and the market insights. Over to you. Over to you, Dennis. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Rajan, to invite me in this interesting webinar. I want to thank also Mr. Kansai for the value information and my colleague Zachary. So I come from the restaurant experience because we started to operate in the restaurant sector in Thailand like 12 years ago in the normal restaurant. And we developed at that time not a chain, but like 6 restaurants in different touristic spots. And then in the last year, also because of the COVID, we decided to try this new concept because following the market, we see a big opportunity in the cloud kitchen that how you can imagine have many differences with the restaurants. I mean, we have less cost of investment, less cost for running the place, less I mean, the staff working there, but at the same time we have a completely different marketing and a completely different model. So the beginning when we started to operate in this new model, we invest a lot in the website because we thought that was our shop, because in the normal restaurant you have to make a very beautiful restaurant in a good location to attract the people inside. With the delivery ghost kitchen, you go inside the house, so it's completely different approach. And but with the time, because we were very new in this sector, we make a different web until we don't find some good already on the market. And then we start to approach the digital marketing, that for us also was not new but different, because in normal restaurant we already had some relation with the TripAdvisor, Google, because it was very important the review and for attract people, no. But here is completely different. Today we have a completely new model with Facebook, Google, Instagram, and even here is very important to make a good team, not only with the people who work inside your model, but also the consultant, because for my experience, it's not easy to approach the good consultant, because many they just intermediate. They use freelance and they recharge a lot and give you the service. So to find the good team is very important, I think. In Thailand, I mean, for our experience, at the moment, we work 80% with platforms and 20% ourselves. In Thailand, the biggest platform are Food Panda from Delivery Hero, then Grab, Get from Gojek, and Lyman. Of course, they have between them have a big competition for to take the market, and they apply average 30-32% of commission to the restaurant. So for this also I mean, a normal restaurant with delivery, I don't think they can have profit because in the normal restaurant, the profit, if you have a good management, I mean, with Italian food like pasta, pizza, usually we have 30% of profit when you have a good income. So when you have to give this 30% to the delivery platform, I don't think they can have big profit. Uh, with the cloud kitchen, of course, we have less cost, so maybe we can have profits. But we are at the beginning. We developed at the moment 4 branch, 3 branch in Bangkok, one in Krabi, that is where I live. I mean, and our goal is to develop more and make I mean to develop the name of the brand, because in our project we have 3 different brands. One is Pizza Pocket, that is the one that we already run in every branch, and of course how the name suggests is concerning the pizza, that is our main product, and then pasta, of course. Then we make salad, some appetizer, and then we have another brand that we are developing that is Asia Sushi, and is sushi sashimi. At the moment, we serve in only 2 branch, and we want bring the other branch, but we have to form chef, personal, so it's step by step. Then in our project, we have another brand that is dedicated to the healthy food that nowadays is one sector that is very trendy, because everybody are concerned about diet, shape, and healthy. So this is our project, and I mean we are building step by step our cloud kitchen, and we learn step by step, because it's a new model for us. So we hope that we see that the market is increasing. Of course, there are a lot of competition, but what I see in Thailand at the moment doesn't have a lot of cloud kitchen. It's something new, and what I see is that every platform they are building their cloud kitchen, and also some huge group of a big company like Minor Group. They are investing a lot in the cloud kitchen, but they have many brands about franchising like KFC, McDonald's, Burger, etc. So I'm here. If you have some question, I'm glad to answer you. Thank you very much.
It was a good insight on the fast food and not delivery models in Bangkok and your expansion plans. Good to know about it.
Thank you.
So thanks for coming. Thanks for visit time, and you'll be there for the panel guests, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we go for the next one. Mr. Gautam, you want to make this thing? You have a presentation, Gautam? Gautam, you have a presentation? You could hear me? Yeah. Gautam? Yeah. Your voice is
We cannot hear.
Yeah, no audio.
To push on the microphone.
Put your audio on. I could see you, but no voice. Ah, unmute, unmute. I'll take a break. I'll take a break. Yeah. Oh, this is Gautam. Gautam Ganguly, founder, Cloud Kitchen Company, Thailand, Bangkok. He is successfully running cloud kitchens and food delivery. He'll be making an insight about his business model challenges. Over to you, Gautam. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Rajan, and a very nice hello to all my fellow colleagues out here as well. Hello to Zach as well as Denis. Both of you gave out really interesting insights from your individual regions. It was definitely a bit of learning for me as well. So, as far as my journey goes, I operate a tech startup called Cloud Kitchen, and one of our prime products is actually called Foodie. So I'll just go ahead and tell you a bit about what we do. Give me a moment to share my screen here. So can you all see my screen now?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so Foodie is a engagement retention platform which also drives sales for its stores. We are a white label platform, and we try to the premise of our problem solving actually comes from two key areas. The first one being customer acquisition for any brand is extremely expensive. So as Harvard Business Review once stated that customer acquisition can be close to about 25 times more expensive than retention. And if you look at the entire value chain of any brand, any platform, I think it all begins by burning tons of money just at customer acquisition. So this is one key problem that we try to solve without driving down brand equity, because we again are a platform. And I'll quickly in a bit share how do we do that and how we address this particular area. But if we, let's assume for a moment that if we did whatever we did to drive down customer acquisition, then the second challenge really is that from a customer point of view, how do you maintain efficiencies across the entire value chain? So you acquire the customer, you do whatever you do to propose and let them build their cart, you give them discounts or promotions, you also allow them to make a payment to you conveniently, and finally all of that has to also get connected to a delivery infrastructure. I use the word infrastructure because I think we are beyond the time here where we can assume that, oh, you know what, I'm going to deliver my food myself, or we can just maybe depend on one third party operator. There has to be a way where you can leverage the efficiencies of all logistics partners, and this efficiency has to trickle down right from that point where we acquire the customer all the way down to the logistics mechanism, because the customer has to have at least the same or a better experience in terms of ordering food. I'll quickly go back to what Mr. Ashish was mentioning earlier, that the criticality of that 17th minute and that 30th minute and whatever happening beyond that 30th minute to the 40th minute is super important for keeping that customer on your platform and driving retention further down the line. Given these two things, customer acquisition and maintaining the efficiency across the value chain, what Foodie does is that it provides a tech ecosystem for its restaurants. And what we try to typically address is how can we drive low customer acquisition, how can we generate high lifetime value for the customer, and at the same time not dilute brand equity. One of the things that we've seen is that when a store goes on a platform, and let's say they're getting significant amount of sales from that platform, the uh, the brand equity of that store can sometimes go down. So people are looking for burgers and not for burgers from a specific brand, which also means that from a offline or a dine-in perspective, sometimes people are not fully aware as to where the brand is, and this is also another part of foodie that we drive. We not only try to drive online traction, but we also try to drive offline and appreciate the dine-in experience. We've got a bunch of tools in there, but overall, what foodie does for its stores using its tech ecosystem is that we are able to provide multi-channel e-commerce. We are built in with loyalty, CRM, and payments, and we are fully enabled with fulfillment. So some quick facts right now. We are operational in Bangkok only. We are just about a year and a few months old. So we have close to about 250 odd stores on our platform. We have processed more than 128,000 orders. Close to about 10 to 12,000 orders we do on month basis. We processed a GMV of over 55 million baht. That's pretty much in excess of maybe $2 million+. And our ticket size, we've got two customer groups: enterprise chains as well as SME stores. So enterprise chains typically have these huge marketing budgets to burn for promotions and campaigns, and they still tend to get an average ticket size of 550 baht or upwards. For smaller stores, despite the fact that we don't get so much marketing burn from them, and we purely drive their sales using organic traffic, they get a very high cart value of 850 baht or upwards. And using this mechanism, what we also do is we kind of drive a high gross profit on these orders, which also means that they are able to leverage their own standard menu and their store's existing operations to operate a part of their business as a kitchen. And that's where the value proposition of foodie comes. We allow these brands to become digitally successful brands. So we are able to allow the existing physical assets of these restaurants to convert into cloud kitchens and give them the efficiencies of how e-commerce should actually be executed. So how we do this is that we are integrated on multiple channels. So Line is one of the biggest platforms operational in Southeast Asia as a chat platform. So we embed foodie inside Line, and the customer journey for these customers is actually seamlessly embedded inside that Line experience. So while people can continue to chat, they can also get an interactive experience about the latest promotions of the store or their existing profile. We also provide the entire mechanism of earning and burning points. So from a customer's point of view, you still have the brand in your pocket. You don't have to go through or relearn a new acquisition mechanism, but you can still order directly with your favorite store and still have that experience as good as ordering maybe on Foodpanda or on Grab. We do exactly the same thing via Facebook. This is a journey which we have seen. Even Facebook has over time enhanced and experienced their chat journeys. In fact, they have moved away from chat to more and more people discovery based journey, and slowly they are actually onboarding stores. In a delivery mechanism embedded within Facebook. So Facebook also is one of our channels for driving customer acquisition. So if I give you some insights here, more than half of our traffic right now comes from Line, but the other half actually comes from Facebook and web. And then, of course, we also provide an entire white label web-based toolkit, which means that as a store, you don't have to go and build websites and find people who can drive your digital marketing. This comes to you as a built-in package where the store can actually just take its branding and deploy it online just within 24 hours. And then you're ready to go. Once this is online, then you are able to acquire customers from all these three channels. You're able to drive online payments, and of course, fulfillment is built in. And when the question of fulfillment comes, we are right now, we provide coverage for pretty much all over Bangkok. Like I said, we drive close to about 10 to 12,000 orders a month. And we are connected with not only pretty much all the major delivery partners here, but we also have a small rider pool that we work with. So from a store's point of view, when an order comes in, he's not bothered about who's going to pick it up or how it's going to get picked up. All they do is they accept the order, and once they call for delivery, a rider from someone is always there. And when that rider is there, that rider always comes with exactly the same efficiency of maybe the customer ordering on the platform of an aggregator directly. So what we are also doing here is that because of this, in terms of some insights, what we have seen across all these 250 stores that we work with is that we have been able to drive customer retention for them while they can still use the benefit of having discovery done on these aggregator platforms, and then vice versa. If they find a customer through the discovery of the platform, they can also have a customer which likes their food so much that he keeps coming back, and it gives the opportunity for the stores to target that customer directly. And everything that we do is fully data driven. So in terms of demographic of customers, consumptions, buying patterns, payment patterns, channel usage, we've got close to about 150 plus data points which we leverage for driving the behavior of these stores and also the behavior of customer groups with these stores. So we've got, like I mentioned, a huge number of brands, totaling about 250 stores, and we've got both large brands and small brands with us. But whether you're a large brand or you're a small brand, you get treated equally. The platform treats you equally, so you get the same benefit. As a small store, you get the same benefit as a large enterprise would derive out of being on Foodie. Some recognition that we've got since the last year or so, DTAC is actually, food is part of DTAC's startup portfolio. We won the Thailand ICP award last year. This year we won the Thailand round of Seed Stars. We've got grants from government agencies like the National Innovation Agency, the Digital Economic Promotion Agency, which is called DEPA. And as a small tech startup, what we are doing right now is to convert these brick and mortar stores into digital brands at a very, very low price point without spending millions into not only deployment of solutions, but also continuous enhancement and maintenance and so on and so forth. But this comes to stores at a time where more and more stores are looking towards digital transformation. I think COVID has pretty much taught all stores that digital transformation is something everyone should embrace. And it allows these stores to not only plan ahead in time, but also think of a business model which is sustainable and it doesn't drain them out of money. So this is what Foodie is. We are a startup which basically converts brands and makes them into digital successful digital brands. So that's from me.
Thank you, Gautam. So we go for the panel discussion. Okay, we take a break and then we go for the panel.
Okay.
So we are live now. So we have this session is going to be a panel discussion on the fundraising and investment challenges faced by startups as well as investors. So on the startup side, we have Ganguly from Bangkok, and we have Denis.
Gautam, sorry.
Gau, Gaurav, na? Right? Gautam, sorry, yeah, Gautam Ganguly from Cloud Kitchen, and we have Denis from Bangkok, and we have Niti Virmani from South Korea. She is an investor plus advisor. And we have Vandana Tulani. She is a co-founder, Convanto. She also represents investors and advisor. Tushar Kansal. He represents Consulting Ventures. He is a founder and advisor. So let's go ahead and we have the introduction of Gautam, Denis already we have. Maybe you could talk about 2 lines. Everyone introduce themselves. And then we can start. So, Niti, go ahead. You talk about a few lines about what exactly you do.
Thank you, Rajan. Firstly, very happy and glad to be a part of this discussion, and it's always exciting to be with like-minded people and in the same persons. I am Neeti Vermani, and first 15 years of my career, I had been in corporate sector. Very diverse sectors. 8 years with telecom, 2 years with media, entertainment, and 2 years with telecom. FMCG. And 5 years back, we moved to South Korea, and I worked on non-profit board for 2 years at that time, and then moved into the startup ecosystem. And since almost 3 to 4 years, I've been in that ecosystem. I'm associated with the accelerators as advisor to startups, investors, with startups, as well as I'm part of the venture capital fund, which is Loyal VC, a part of blockchain founders fund, which is based out of Singapore. So into multiple assignments, I'm also very sensitive about and particular and a good advocate of the women's role in the not just the corporate sector but also the startup ecosystem, where they can really leave a very good legacy. So yeah, that's briefly about me.
Thank you. So we have Vandana. Vandana, you can introduce yourself. Vandana or Tushar.
Are they online? I don't see Vandana ji.
They are there in the session, but she is not. Okay, Dennis, you can reintroduce two-liner. What exactly you do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the founder and the CEO of this new startup, and because now we are with, venture capital developer. So what I found in Thailand for foreigner, the access to the credit is very, very difficult because in my experience in 12 years, I never worked with the bank. So we always try to attract some capital of friends or always that we make as a profit. But we never had any relation with the bank because for foreigner it is not easy.
Okay.
They have a lot of limits.
Okay. So you found a lot of challenges in getting investment.
Yes, a lot of challenges. Yes.
Okay, we talk again. So Gautam, you tell me about the fundraising. If you are raising fund, what are the challenges, and about you two-liner.
I think being a tech company, first of all, I run a tech startup called Cloud Kitchen, and one of our platforms that we provide is called Foodie, which basically is a tech enablement platform for restaurants. Now, being a tech-driven company, I think access to investments for us has been uh, a little bit more easier. We certainly do not rely on credit provided by banks or the typical financial institutions. And fundraising for us as a tech startup is purely dependent on traction. VCs in this region, they would like to see traction and growth, and they would like to see the presence of a sustainable business model. And I think that's what typically drives investor interest in companies like such as ours. We have already raised some seed rounds by at least two different institutions. But going further down, as the founder of a company, my objective would be to strengthen the bottom line of the company to a certain valuation before I can reach a point where I feel that okay, this is our next point for fundraising. That also goes to say that I I can go out right now and attract a certain ticket value towards my company, but it's also my decision about should we do it right now or not. And I think every founder takes that decision. But given the certain scenario that we are in this year, the pandemic, which is of course, it's also equally important that we preserve cash. So this year, I would say I have been a little more fortunate in comparison to my other competitors in the industry, who are, let's say, I know companies in the travel, startups in the travel industry or in industry related directly to tourism, which have been really, really hard hit. And some of these guys had to stop, hibernate, and look at other options to just let go by of 2020 somehow and wait for let's say the travel bubble to come back on, or the general population to start moving on from place A to place B. Um, but for us, we have had to look at how we would spend this year, because while being cash healthy at the same time, we would have to consider, okay, should we spend on marketing or not? Or if we spent on marketing, where should we spend it? Because let's just talk about marketing. You could have multiple avenues, but that side we have tried to be data driven and maybe become extremely selective about where we spend. Um, so moving forward for us, I think it goes back to the same point that we will continue to drive our traction, we'll continue to strengthen our bottom line, focus on what we do the best. This is one more thing. I think many people try to do too many things at the same time, and that's another reason for not driving sustainable growth. So for us, we continue to focus on that one thing that we do well. Drive our bottom line. And then Foodie has constantly focused this year on building partnerships, on building B2B partnerships, which add value to businesses on both ends of the spectrum, which has kind of been beneficial. So that's my 2 cents on how I have looked at the fundraising process this year.
Thank you, Gautam. Vandana, you talk about, introduce yourself, what exactly you do.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
So, I have worked in Singapore and Jakarta for 15 years. This is my sixth year back in India into investment banking, and I'm connected with 175 investors globally. We do fundraising, business consulting, pitch deck making, financial modeling. This is our core work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think now we go for Tushar. He will introduce.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Rajan.
Yeah, Tushar, introduce about yourself. What exactly
Sure.
you do your activities like?
Yeah, sure. I am a corporate finance professional since 20 years, worked for Deloitte and Touche, Brand Capital, was a part of Russian company Systema's India unit called MTS India, where I was in charge of raising debt and raised a lot of $2.5 billion debt for the company. I was CFO with a company called Distribution Logistics, which is owned by Guggenheim Partners. In my current company, which I am a founder there, since the last 5 years, I've been primarily mentoring startups, helping them across business and funding side, as also operating a angel network called Saffron First with around 38 angel investors, mostly from the corporate CXO side. So this is about me.
Thank you,
Thank
Gautam.
you.
Now we go to Niti. You are in a Korean market. So, what are the investment challenges if you look at cloud kitchen segment? Have you come across the cloud kitchen startup coming to you? Did you find any investment challenges? Niti, you could hear? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. So,
Yeah.
I think a lot has been said since the past 1 or 2 hours, and clearly there is a huge opportunity which exists. And even before COVID, the entire consumer behavior was shifting. People were moving to e-commerce. People were moving to ordering food online, as opposed to just going only, to retail outlets or other, offline shopping. So in any case, there was a trend which was building. It just sort of got pumped, because of COVID. And now, the consumer behavior is like, while we might say, okay, post-COVID, but then the fact is, and the fact that we would be coming back to certain hybrid, the fact is that the consumer behavior is going to change. And cloud kitchen is something which it's really caught up and it's caught up across countries. So while yeah, I don't see any major challenge in terms of concept and in terms of the product. The challenges which are there for an investor to decide which startup to really go in for, they stay as challenges, even for cloud kitchens. So it's more or less the same challenges that we see here.
Okay, got it. So, Vandana, you tell me, as an advisor, what feedback you get if a cloud kitchen approaches you for investment?
From the investors, or
Yes,
yeah.
as an advisor, you advise cloud kitchen to startups for
Yeah,
investment.
so investors are pretty much looking into this sector. It is an upcoming sector and one of the hot sectors. Many dine out options have gone out, hence cloud kitchens have come into consideration, and investors are heavily investing in this space. uh, they have no issues with investing in this space. So I've been getting positive feedbacks from all my investors, especially big funds like Sequoia, and a few other funds have really shown interest in my few of my Singapore-based startups into cloud kitchens.
Okay, okay, okay. So you're getting a good response for the cloud kitchen segment.
Yeah, very well response. It's due to the pandemic, it has become a very hot sector, and pandemic has really changed this sector, and everybody is getting into cloud kitchen these days.
Okay. So Tushar, you tell me, for a startup in cloud kitchen segment, what do you
Right.
think benchmark for an investment? What are the minimum metrics they must have so that the investors can come in, put in the money?
We have seen this cloud kitchen business mushroom, especially after Rebel Foods became a unicorn, and this is we saw mushrooming of a lot of other cloud kitchens as well. So the technology is in place, the third party logistics is in place, and we have some kind of a standardization of cuisines. But of course. When it comes to differentiation with between the cloud kitchens, then a lot of cultural factors and standardization of the palette has to be there. From an investor perspective, it has to be that since the margins are uh, not that high and the business runs on volume, so there has to be a consistency in services as well as the product, and mass reach, so as to get economies of scale, because there is only that much you can marketing dollar you can spend when your number of outlets or number of kitchens is low. So these are the factors which I think that can play and especially the cultural factor, the cultural factor in cuisine is very important, because there are cultures where meetings are held over lunches and dinners, and that can be a different theater between a brick and mortar store and a cloud kitchen.
Okay. So, Gautam, Gautam, you could hear?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes, yes. So, the pandemic time challenges, investors are looking at, the number of kitchens. If you are quite good at, they look at you. Is it true, according to you?
I think from an investor point of view, they probably have to look at two things. Are they putting money into an operator who is operating a cloud kitchen? Um, which basically means that this operator is providing access to physical assets, physical space, tech, and logistic services. If that is the case, then it also becomes important that this operator is provide to bring in brands that are power brands in themselves. Because if the brands don't have enough traction, then what's the point of this cloud kitchen, first of all? Uh, so that is a very, very different proposition in comparison to a brand trying to create multiple cloud kitchens, where again, then from an investor point of view, that investor will see, okay, what's the brand traction of this single brand, and the number of deliveries that they are doing from these locations are scalable enough to X kilometers beyond that store or not. Is the product scalable or not? Is the supply chain mechanism of ingredients to supply to these cloud kitchens is intact or not? So that brings two models into play. And I think right now in Thailand, what's happening is the bigger cloud kitchen operator right now is maybe someone like Grab Kitchen, who has taken on their single location and driving sales from that one location or multiple locations. Food Panda has done the same thing with their cloud kitchen. And then of course there are the bigger brands, guys like Minor Group or the Central Group here in Thailand. They are all operating their own cloud kitchens. So the people who are left out are actually the mid to premium segment stores, and that's where someone like me comes in and my platform comes in. And the way we do it is that, of course, we leverage both sides of the spectrum. So, from an investment point of view, I think right now the people who have the investors who have invested into a pure cloud kitchen setup, they definitely go for the ones where the operator is riding on the back of a bigger brand, which can leverage both customer acquisition and direct delivery traffic.
Okay. So Dennis, you are in a very niche segment where MNCs like Domino's, McDonald's, they have the larger brands.
Yes.
Do you think that you will be able to bring unit economics in the future post COVID?
I mean, what I say, I mean, because we come from a traditional restaurant, right? So we see the offer of the food right now, the most, how can I say, level, the high level is from restaurants on delivery with the platform. But as I said before, the restaurant cannot be competitive because they have too much cost of running for to deal with delivery. So of course, as the Gautam was telling, now a big group like Minor, they have a brand already very known and are mostly franchising like Burger King, KFC, McDonald's. They have already their markets. I mean, our focus is the normal restaurant. In normal restaurant, is to go to Rome. And of course, it's important to build the brand because until your brand is not known, it's not easy to attract people and to make numbers of delivery. But I have also normal restaurant that right now is closed. It's called since 1 year, and we are in touristic places. So I think many restaurant touristic places. I don't know if they can afford because in Thailand we speak before to come back in normal business. I mean, like normal restaurant, where to wait the next season. I mean, November in the places touristic. I mean, like Samui, Phuket, Krabi, and for restaurant it's not easy to stay 2 years without income and only outcome.
Okay.
So
Okay, good insight. Oh, Niti, you tell me, what is the Korean market? If the investors are bullied, how the market is opening up for cloud kitchens?
again, sorry, I didn't catch.
It's for Niti. It's for Niti.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so cloud kitchens are definitely, the scope has really gone up for them. It's like almost 4, 5, 6x types. And so has a scope for anything which is related to, the cloud kitchens, let's say the payment systems, etc. And definitely the investments have also gone up behind it. The only thing is, of course, overall the economy is sort of stagnant. So, but within that, whatever opportunities are coming up because of the orders going up, yes, it's absolutely pumping.
Have you invested in cloud kitchen? Any? No.
Uh, Not currently, personally, no. On from the Loyal VC side, yes, we are present in the food and agri-tech space, but I don't know, for some reason we have not invested till now. But if there is a good opportunity that comes our way, we will definitely invest.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So Vandana, you tell me, what is your approach for the global market cloud kitchen? So I think you are dealing with international markets too.
Yeah.
Throw some lights.
Yes, yes, definitely. Singapore and the Southeast Asian countries are doing really well in this space because of the technology that they are using. In India, it is catching up still because of the technology issues. Otherwise, the global scenario of the cloud kitchens is going way up to high, and like I mentioned, that investors are really looking into. In fact, I have had funds asking me for such kind of deals. Sequoia is going way too much on this investing in these spaces. So I would request all the founders of the cloud kitchens that are here to go all the way and seek investments, because this is the time that you will get all the investments that you require.
So Tushar, you tell me, focusing on the South Asian market, is this the startups in pizza using technology could be replicated in any other countries for scaling their business? Your voice is muted.
You're on
Voice
mute,
is
Tushar.
yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Asian economies in particular are very difficult markets to operate on. So, I have some investors who used to tell me that if an MVP happens successfully in India and they are able to sell something in India, then they can sell it globally anywhere. So this is the price sensitivity and the quality consciousness, and the customer takes time to take a decision. Does a lot of inquiries here and there, asks five family members, friends. So the Asian markets are similar to India in many ways, and I firmly believe that these models are plug and play, and if certain customization is there done as to the local culture and eating norms, then they can be easily replicated. For example, I remember when McDonald's came to India, then they didn't tailor their cuisine to the Indian taste. But with time, we saw Burger King, Wendy's giving railway cutlets and stuff like that, and doing very well. So this is the kind of customization, the ground level customization which is required. From a top down level, the technology is in place. We have third party logistics companies. We have ways in which upselling and cross selling can be done across these platforms. So my firm belief is that replicating them and scaling them is possible across geographies.
Thank you, Tushar.
Thanks.
So we summarize now. The session we summarize because we have a next India session is there at 2:45. So Dennis, let's summarize. What's your post-COVID plans in two-liner? Just tell me in 2 lines.
Our post-COVID plan is that if we are successful, our goal will be develop our brand in other countries, not only Thailand. Actually, we are more interested in the more rich country like Europe or Singapore or Hong Kong or Korea, because in Thailand, I mean, the foreigner food is mostly requested by foreigner, and right now we don't have a lot. So I mean, we point in the market where are more requests and more rich about the food. But here anyway, it's good training. It's good training. I mean,
Okay. Gautam, what's your post-COVID plans?
Well, my post-COVID plans have already kicked into action. So we recently got a small government grant. So we are already proceeding to scale beyond Bangkok. And the plan for next year is to double our active user base. The We've got close to about 250,000 plus users. I don't mean stores, I mean users. So we want to double that. If we double that, we'll also double our order volume right now. So right now we do about 10,000 odd orders to 12,000 a month. I want to get to somewhere around, let's say, 15 to 20,000 by the end of next year. So if we double our, basic GMV, that will be really, really useful. So yeah, two little plans, one already in action.
Thank you, thank you. Tushar, you tell me
Yes, sir.
next post-COVID investors plans. Anything insight you have?
Sir,
Any
I would like
post-COVID
to, I
opportunity
would
to
like
invest?
to also, sorry.
Is the investors are looking for the pandemic to get over to invest on cloud
Yeah,
kitchens?
that's what they are. I mean, I am very closely aligned with the company which has created robos for robotic scavenging and all, and people are saying the vaccine is about to come. So people are, the market is definitely now factoring in the fact that some vaccine will hit it, and this post COVID scenario will happen. But but it seems to me that the new normal is that a lot of things will happen at home. So people will still keep on using cloud kitchens and using these apps and also work from home. And so I think the growth might taper down from high double digits to lower double digits, but still cloud kitchens are here to stay.
Okay, Vandana, you tell me your investor feedback on the post-COVID plans.
For cloud kitchens, for cloud
Yes.
kitchens, so investor feedback is pretty much good in this space. They really want to invest and they are looking at this space. It's very scalable. Like Gautam mentioned and Dennis mentioned, even Zachary mentioned that they are pretty much doing well. So they are a global market there itself. Singapore companies are doing pretty much better in this space. Indian companies are catching up in this space.
Okay. But Swiggy in India, Swiggy, Zomato, they are all doing well. The traction is building up.
Yeah, slowly they are. But technology wise, we are still need to catch up a bit. I have
Okay.
seen other better technologies in abroad. Yeah.
Okay. So, Neeti, you tell me, you summarize how the market post-COVID investment plans in Korea.
So, two things I wanted to add to.
I have few startups from Korea. They are looking for investment. Cloud kitchen.
Yeah, so before coming to that part, I wanted to add to I think what Tushar said. One is the technology part. So of course, India definitely, a lot of things have changed in the last 5 to 10 years, but outside India in Southeast Asia as well as East Asia, the technology wise, things are really light years ahead. So it's far easier for companies to really turn around solutions and volumes and cater to that kind of market. The second thing outside India is the consumer behavior of eating out, which is very very high. I mean, there's hardly I would say a number of days in a week that the food is cooked at home. So versus India, there will always be a difference, on the cultural part, and the eating out behavior outside obviously will add up to the volume. So I think it's not really apple to apple comparison in that sense, on these two fronts. Coming back to your question, which is, the investment scenario. To be honest, the investments during COVID. So let's say, so one is, investments in general, and if I really talk about loyal VC, we have been following, we have a very different concept of investments and we are very diverse. So for us, to be honest, nothing changed. In fact, during COVID, the investments just grew for us. We've grown, and so because of our diversity, let's say, the travel sector or the retail, pure retail, traditional retail sector really didn't create too much impact because our portfolio is very diverse. So that's been a very great advantage for us. And as far as general investments is concerned, I think in any case, overall investments also have been very healthy, mainly because people have moved to e-commerce and people are wanting to use technology. So overall, it's really looking up, already during COVID. And my sense is it's just going to go up even post COVID, because as long as the companies are able to put in technologies like, let's say, even in the cloud, kitchen cloud, if you have AI, if you're able to bung in blockchain later, the investments behind that are in any case going to go up, and it will be pretty, pretty. One can leverage a lot from that.
Okay, Niti. So we come to the conclusion. So we summarize that because of the pandemic, investors are reluctant. Otherwise, the market is quite bullish on investments in the cloud kitchen. And not only in Southeast Asia and European countries, it's all becoming heavily funded.
Yes.
It's a heavily funded segment. Unit economics, it will build up only the post-COVID situation. And let's hope for vaccines are coming in. So once the vaccine comes in, eating is a lifestyle. Restaurants always will exist. And restaurants got another channel. They could also launch cloud kitchens. Get restaurant as the hub, hub and spoke model. So cloud kitchen. So another kitchen for the startups. For example, Gautam. So restaurants also venturing into cloud kitchens. So we conclude this session. Thank you for all of you having the precious
Thank
time.
you. Thank you, Mr. Rajan. Thank you,
Thank you,
Niti. Thank
Rajan.
you, Gautam.
Thank you, Niti.
Thank
Thank you.
Gautam.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Joining
you.
us.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you,
We
Prashant.
look forward
Bye.
meeting you next. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
You can
Bye.
also, if you want, you can network in the session, in the social launch. That's all. Thank you.
Welcome.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you. I'll be
Bye.
adding everyone on LinkedIn, by the way. So
Yeah.
please look out.
Yeah.
Bye.